Hello, everybody. I'm Drunk Farmer. Welcome to NFL Picks. How are you? Let's begin on a sad note. As you know, last Tuesday, the passing of John Madden. If you people were my age or a little bit older, remember John Madden, the head coach of the Oakland Raiders? Yes, I said the Oakland Raiders. Coached there for 10 years. Never had a losing season with the Raiders. Never had one. That's pretty good. Also, John Madden was inducted into the Hall of Fame as a broadcaster and as a head coach. I remember watching Sundays with John Madden and Pat Summerall on CBS, and let me tell you, I learned a lot from John Madden. I learned a lot about football from John Madden. Just by listening to John Madden and everything throughout the years, I learned a lot from John Madden. And there's no better teacher. Rest in peace, Coach Madden, and thank you for the memories. Moving on, NFL notes. Let's go to Cincinnati, Kansas City. If you missed that ball game, shame on you. That was a hell of a ball game. Of course, Cincinnati won it in the last second field goal. Kansas City had the lead for a while, but Cincinnati just kept fighting, and finally they caught up to Kansas City and won the game. Kansas City fans are scratching their head going, what happened? That's a good question. But Cincinnati never gave up. Zach Taylor, head coach of Cincinnati, kind of have a soft spot for him. He used to be the quarterback from the University of Nebraska. And, yeah, they won the NFC North. So congratulations to Zach Taylor and the Cincinnati Bengals. And the reason why I have a soft spot for him because he played for the University of Nebraska, and I'm from Nebraska. Also, let's go to New York. Jets, Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay barely escaped New York by that much. Last minute touchdown put the Tampa Bay Buccaneers ahead and won the game. But the New York Jets, man, I tell you, they dominated that game for a long time. Tampa Bay just couldn't get anything going. But the New York Jets, I wish they would have won. That would have been a major upset. But unfortunately, it was that Tom Brady magic. But that's not the story here. Antonio Brown's the story. I mean, did he just have a complete meltdown? I mean, come on. He was the way the story goes. He was asked to play some plays in the third quarter, and he told the head coach Bruce Arians no. God knows what he was thinking, but he wasn't. And all of a sudden, it was a heated argument on the sidelines. Things just kind of snowballed downhill from there, and Antonio Davis just threw a fit, threw his uniform on the bench, and walked out during the game. Is he still a Tampa Bay Buccaneer? I would say he's not, but he's not on waivers list. That's been checked. He's not on waivers list, but I think he's unemployed. I'm about 95% sure he's unemployed. AFC South, that was a little fun division to watch, but it came down to the Week 17. Tennessee Titans is your champions of the AFC South. The Indianapolis Colts had a chance. If they would have won, it probably would have came down to the last game of the season between those two, but unfortunately the Colts lost. Tennessee takes the South. Wow. And if you did not watch the Arizona Cardinals-Dallas game, that was a pretty good game too. Arizona came in with a 3-game losing streak. Dallas last week just tormented Washington. They threw Washington through a table, basically caked Washington. This week, the Dallas Cowboys were flat. They were just flat. Defense and offense was just flat, and Arizona took advantage of that, walked out of Dallas with a good win. Now, this brings it to this situation for the AFC West, or the NFC West, excuse me. If the Los Angeles Rams lose and the Cardinals win, Cardinals are champions of the West. If the Rams win, Cardinals lose, the Rams are the champs of the West. I'm not too sure if both teams happen to win this week, who's going to take the division. I'm not sure. Either it's Arizona or Los Angeles. If anybody kind of knows, put in the comment box below. But I think it's Arizona. Don't quote me on that. Don't, please. If you do, then I don't know. Week 18, right here, the list, my picks. Before we get to that, one more thing before we get to that. Monday night game, Ben Roethlisberger was his last game as a Pittsburgh Steeler at Heinz Field. As you know, Big Ben's going to retire as a Steeler. He's got one more game to go, but it was his last game at Heinz Field as a Pittsburgh Steeler. And they beat the Cleveland Browns. It wasn't pretty, but the defense for the Pittsburgh Steelers rose from the ashes. They sacked Baker Mayfield at least 9 times. So Baker Mayfield did not have a good night against the Steelers. Of course, Cleveland hasn't had a really good year. And so in Pittsburgh, they were going to win it for Ben, and they did. The defense rose. Offense looked pretty good. It wasn't pretty, but hey, you know what? It's never pretty against Pittsburgh and Cleveland, to tell you the truth. But a good win for Pittsburgh. And by the way, with that win for Pittsburgh, they're still in playoff contention. Yes, they are. And they have, if they want to improve their stock, they have to beat the Ravens next week. But we'll get to that in a second. Like I said, I have the weeks right here, the week's picks. We got 2 games on Saturday. We're going with Kansas City and Denver. That'd be the first game. Picking the Chiefs, because I think the Chiefs are going to take some frustrations out on Denver. Dallas Eagles, this is always a bloodbath. These two teams hate each other, but we're going to go with Dallas. Sunday. Cincinnati and Cleveland, the Battle of Ohio, going with Cincinnati. Green Bay, they travel to Detroit. I'm picking Green Bay. Bears, Vikings. I'm picking the Bears this week. I know I haven't picked the Bears in a long time, and they've won 2 in a row. Well, I picked the Bears last week, but I'm picking the Bears again this week because the Minnesota just is not looking all that great right now, and the Bears are winning with Andy Dalton, so I'm going to pick the Bears. Will this be Coach Nagy's last game as a Chicago Bear head coach? I'm about 85% sure it might be. So I think the Bears are really looking. They've been looking for a head coach. There's been some names been thrown around. This might be Nagy's last game as a Chicago Bears head coach, but we'll wait and see. Washington Giants picking the Washington. Indianapolis, Jacksonville. They're going to take some frustrations on Jacksonville. Jacksonville's like the punching bag of the AFC. Okay, so I'm picking Indy. Pittsburgh and Baltimore. I'm going to pick Baltimore at home. I am. I'm going to pick. You know what? I'm not going to pick Baltimore. I am not. I'm going to make a friend of mine happy because he's a big Steelers fan and he's got some health issues right now. And I'm going to make him happy. I'm going to pick Pittsburgh over the Ravens. I am. I'm going to pick Pittsburgh over the Ravens. I was going to pick the Ravens originally, but you know what? I'm going to do it for a friend of mine. He's a very good friend of mine. And like I said, he's been having some health issues. I'm going to pick the Steelers. And he's a big Pittsburgh Steeler fan, by the way. So I'm picking the Steelers, man. All right, next, Tennessee, Houston. Going with Tennessee. Saints, Falcons, 2 teams that don't like each other. I'll pick the Saints. Jets, Buffalo. Good luck to the New York. I mean, the New York Jets have been coming on lately, but they're going to Buffalo, and Buffalo looked pretty good last week, so it's tough playing in Buffalo. I'm picking Buffalo. Patriots travel down to the sunshine state of Miami. Whatever. They're going to Miami, picking the Patriots. Carolina, Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay at home is tough, picking Tampa Bay. San Francisco, Rams, picking the Rams. Seahawks, Cardinals, picking the Cardinals. Seahawks have not looked all that great. Do you think Pete Carroll's going to retire here pretty soon? I don't know. There's rumors that Russell Wilson wants to be traded out of Seattle also. And finally, the Sunday night game. Chargers, Raiders. Chargers have looked really good the last few weeks. Raiders picking the Chargers over the Raiders. That is it, ladies and gentlemen, for Week 18, the final regular season. I will be picking the playoffs, and I will be picking the winner of the Super Bowl. I'm not going to forget that. Whew. And we'll figure out all this playoff mess at the end of the regular season, because right now I can't even figure it out because my head will explode or something. So until then, I will see you when we get the playoff scenario all figured out. I will see you. I will make my predictions then. If you have a comment or if you want to pick against me or throw your picks in there or whatever, use it in the comment box below. If you like this show, give this show a thumbs up. Yeah, if I have an owie. And if you want to subscribe to this show, subscribe to this show. I'd love to see some more subscribers. Please subscribe. Until then, I will see you probably next week, and we'll figure out all the playoff scenario stuff. I am Drunk Farmer. This has been NFL Picks. Everyone, have a wonderful rest of the week. So long, everyone.